let's recall people v. Hilliker. All right, this is file 24-93314FH. And Mr. Gilbert, have you had a chance to review the probation recommendation report with Ms. Hilliker?
Yes, Ms. Hilliker and I did go through that report.
Okay, any additions, corrections?
Oh, Your Honor, it was not necessarily on the factual basis, more of an allocution.
Oh, go ahead.
So, Your Honor, my client did want me to point out that she is employed, even though the recommendation says that she's not. She's gotten a job with a food truck that services the Onaway area, and also I believe goes over to Emmett and Sheboygan counties, and that she'll be working on that full time. If I may, my client wanted me to present to the court a picture that she colored for the judge, if I may approach.
Sure.
And I know my client is, and I believe my client coloring a picture for the court says a lot in its own right of her cognitive issues and trying to get her arms wrapped around her addictions and what that's done to her over time. I know she's trying on her own accord to see if she could possibly get some sort of inpatient counseling and counseling calls. I understand. Okay. Is that some sort of treatment to help her with her addictions, counseling and drug treatment. And I would ask the court to take that in consideration if the court were to sentence her to some form of incarceration for her failure with a quick and sure. She's well aware that she's in this situation because of her own doing. She didn't come to court, and she knew she had to come to court. I would ask that the court possibly allow her to do, while she's sitting that term, any type of jail set term, to do some sort of inpatient treatment as part of her any type of sentencing. But I would ask the court possibly, I know it's really asking a lot because Ms. Hilliker was warned and that she needed to come to court. She didn't. I know I'd been in contact with her that day, and she wasn't able to find a ride. She had even told me that the day before that she was having issues. I would ask the court before they remove her off probation. I'd really like to see her get more help. She's been fighting this for a long time. Ms. Hilliker's been on my client list a long time, and it's all because of her addictions. And I just have to ask the court to take that into consideration. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hilliker, you don't have to tell me anything, but you're allowed to. Is there anything you want to?
I'm sorry that I didn't take, I guess, responsibility and come to court. I tried. I waited outside the courthouse that day to be sentenced, to be told to come back the next day. I really tried to find a ride, and then even after the fact, trying to find a ride. I know that's my responsibility, and I am trying to pay off my fines to get my license back myself. And I do have a job with my stepmom, working the food truck, and she would be my ride to and from to go to there. So, and I have reached out for a dual treatment center for mental health and for inpatient rehabilitation. I just ask that you take it all into consideration. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. McClellan.
Thank you, Your Honor. I can understand having some hiccups and slip, but Hilliker has had a tortured history here so far on probation. There's been multiple positive tests. There's an allegation of attempting to falsify a drug test. Failure to appear, at least. Me, really, reading the probation recommendation report here, what stands out is it's noted that Ms. Hilliker has not shown remorse. She doesn't appear to have any goals to get sober. There's just been violation after violation, Your Honor, in light of appears to be a generally poor attitude.
All right, Ms. Hilliker, I share a lot of the sentiments that Mr. Gilbert said. I mean, I agree with a lot of what he said, which is why we've been trying to do what we've been trying to do with you.
Oh, I have
But,
been trying, even though it doesn't look like it.
Well, it sure doesn't.
I know.
Probation is sort of a two-way thing between a court and the defendant, where instead of locking you up, we're trying to address the issues that are causing these problems in your life. You had at least 2 pending contempts while you're on bond for positive tests. We ended up revoking your bond. Having a criminal charge over your head didn't stop you from using, which is not terribly surprising. I get that. So that's why then we still put you in the Swift and Sure probation program, which is the most intensive probation program that we have available in Presque Isle County. That's an intensive probation into your life that's designed to connect you to treatment. And you've got Miss Bart and Agent Flesh, both of whom are great people who care about the people in their program and trying to work with you on that. And we had several violations where you weren't working and you weren't doing the community service. You weren't testing at one point. You still didn't turn in your community service hours. We had some positive tests. And in the Swift and Sure, we give you 3 days jail if you have a violation. So we were all set last fall, give you 3 days jail, but you didn't show up. So then we had to do a warrant for you. And then you ended up doing, I think, 38 days before it got all resolved. And we still kept you in the Swift and Sure program. And then you got violation. You had a violation in January and we gave you the 3 days. Okay, so we're still working with you. Then you get another violation for a positive test and attempting to falsify the tests, which shows you're not super interested in, treatment because you're trying to avoid getting caught. And I know it's scary, but we're trying to work with you, and then still the plan would have been give you 3 days and keep working with you, and you just don't come. And then it's not just that you didn't come that day, then you just stop reporting, until you get arrested on it. So I don't know what else we could do. I mean, probation can't be a one-way street with me and Miss Barth and Agent LaFleche trying to help you and you not cooperating. So that's not working. So I got to revoke you out of the program and revoke your probation. I wish we could get you some treatment, but we tried. So at this point, you're a young person. I had notes to myself at the sentencing last year that you were early on the meth road. Well, you're further on it now, reading in this that you can't even find a vein, so you got somebody else shooting it into you. Think about that. You colored me a picture, which, as your lawyer said, shows that you've got sort of a childish way of looking at this, and I agree. But it says, well, he didn't say it that way, but that's what he was hinting at. For through wisdom, your days will be many and years will be added to your life, out of Proverbs. Meth does not add wisdom, days, or years to your life.
No, not mine, but
It will shorten your life. Methamphetamine is going to make your life miserable and short. So I sure hope that you decide you want to make some changes. If you do, you don't have to be on probation to go to treatment. So when you're out of jail, get yourself to treatment. If you catch another case and a judge wants to give you a chance like we did, take advantage and cooperate. But I can't do anything else with you right now other than give you some jail time. So I'm going to revoke your probation, order you serve 6 months in the Presque Isle County Jail, give you credit for 85 days previously served. Any fines and costs that were due and owing remain due and owing in the amount of any unpaid balance. So that's the judgment of court. If you want to appeal, you can file an application to the Court of Appeals. So we're going to hand you a copy of your appeal rights right now, ask you to initial one. If you want to file an appeal and want a lawyer, you have to make that request to me within 6 months. So when you're released, Madison, you're not going to be on probation. So when you're released, you do what you want. But I sure hope that you reach out to somebody and get into treatment. Go to NA meetings, go to Celebrate Recovery, go to AA, go to something, go to Thunder Bay counseling, go to inpatient. But that's all on you. We've tried and us trying hasn't worked with you. So I hope I don't see you on another case. I hope I don't read in the paper that you've overdosed. I'm worried about all those things for you, Madison. But good luck.